Hey guys, what's up, Scott here. I want to talk about some of the stuff that's going on with WWE. I had talked about the main event, and I talked about the four big matches that we're having at WrestleMania in about 3 weeks, which is can't believe this WrestleMania is almost here. Time goes by so fast. However, since I made that video, they've kind of changed some things a little bit. And particularly when it comes to the Triple H and Dan Bryan match and the main event at WrestleMania. So 2 weeks ago on Raw, they had it where Bryan hijacked the show pretty much, or held the show hostage, whatever. And he made a deal with Triple H and said that, hey, if I beat you, then you would have to insert me into the world title picture at WrestleMania and make it a triple threat. Triple H agreed to Bryan's demands. He agreed to the match. Now, right there, I thought to myself, okay, WWE have painted Daniel Bryan and they've painted him in a corner. They have no other choice but to make him win the World Heavyweight Championship, because if they have him go up against Triple H at WrestleMania just to lose and he doesn't get that world title shot later that night, that'll be so damaging for Daniel Bryan. And I would think, of all things, WWE would not be that cruel, even though I wouldn't put it past them. So I'm like, okay, well, Dan Bryan, he has to win, even if it's the most predictable thing in the world. It doesn't matter. Daniel Bryan has to win at WrestleMania. Then this past Monday, Triple H kind of retaliates and says, well, hey, you know what? I'm sick of you, Batista, and I'm sick of you, Randy Orton. And whether you like it or not, there will be a triple threat match at WrestleMania. Because if I beat Daniel Bryan, I'm going to insert myself into the main event. And then it's like, okay, well, what the hell are you doing now, Triple H? Just like, okay, you can't just have your spot and wrestle Bryan at WrestleMania. But now you have to throw in the possibility that if you do beat Daniel Bryan, then you'll insert yourself into the main event. It's like, okay. Now it gets to the point where, creatively, WWE doing a little bit too much. It's like you got your sundae, you got your nuts, your banana, the strawberry sauce, and all that other good stuff. But then you want to go and throw in some M&M peanuts, some crushed Oreos. You want to go and put some butter pecan ice cream on top. Then you want to put in some apples and some oranges and just a big bag of cherries. And then it's like, okay, you're running the sundae now. It's not a sundae anymore. Because to me, even if it was predictable, you still had that glimpse of doubt, because everybody knows how Triple H is politically backstage, how Triple H is, how he does not like to put people over, how he, people know how Triple H is. So because of knowing who Triple H is as a person and how he acts, when it comes to his job and him wanting to put people over or him burying people, that enough in itself is enough to get people have doubts in their mind. Okay, Daniel Bryan may not win this thing at WrestleMania. But now by you having Triple H saying, okay, well, if I beat Bryan, then I'm going to be in the main event at WrestleMania, it's not needed. You get what I'm saying? It's like they're trying to add an extra wow factor or suspension or like a wow factor to try to surprise you and like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen, kind of like thing. When I think originally before Triple H even inserted himself or wanting to insert himself in the main event, you already had that glimpse of doubt and still hoped anyway that Daniel Bryan, he may not get it, because you just know how Triple H is just based off who he is as a person. I think that was enough in itself. And so now you have this going on where if Bryan beats Tripp, he gets into the main spot at Mania. If Tripp beats Bryan, he gets the main spot at WrestleMania. Now it makes me wonder, if Daniel Bryan does beat Triple H and he gets that shot, then what's going to happen later that night? Will Triple H come out later that night during the main event and make it a fatal 4-way? If he does that, if they make it a fatal 4-way, I could see them doing that. If they do that, that'll be a little bit too much overbooking. That would not surprise me at all. That if Daniel Bryan beats Triple H says it's a fluke, whatever. You know what? You get your title shot, but you know what? I'm gonna put myself in the match and make it a fatal 4-way because I'm I'm the COO. He throws his weight around. It would not surprise me if they did that, and if they did do that, God, just no. Can we just have a moment, just one moment where Triple H just puts his ego aside, just put it aside in a box under the desk, just for a minute, just one WrestleMania. It's not gonna, dude. You've headlined like 13 WrestleManias. It's not gonna kill you to just put your ego in a box, put it under the drawer, and leave it there for one event. It's not gonna kill you. This is what concerns me. Despite all these things, I did enjoy the beatdown that Triple H gave Daniel Bryan. Here's why. Because one, Triple H, in my opinion right now, and I'd probably even say since the beginning of this year, has been the #1 heel in the WWE right now. Quite frankly, he is. And we know whether you hate Triple H or love him, whether he buries people or the only people he puts over are his buddies. Triple H that dude is a heat magnet, and you got to give him credit for it. He knows how to draw heat, and I think by him, and the reason why I say I enjoyed the beatdown of him for Daniel Bryan is because he's doing what a heel's supposed to do: beat him down, beat down the babyface, just keep pounding and pounding and pounding the babyface, just for the babyface to come back and beat the odds, which would then make a tremendous moment. It will tell a great story. People will be elated. People will be excited. That is a WrestleMania moment. That is how you build not only a star, but that is how you get over your babyface and make him break that glass ceiling. Daniel Bryan has not broken the glass ceiling. Yes, he is the most over guy in the company. Yes, he is taking over CM Punk's place as the top guy, one of the top guys in the company, second top guy in the company, and the overall company. But Daniel Bryan is not breaking that glass ceiling yet. He did not break it when he beat John Cena for the title. He did not break it when he beat Randy Orton for the title. Daniel Bryan will break that glass ceiling come WrestleMania if he not only beats Triple H, but also wins the world title at WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan is the perfect underdog. He's a small guy. He has this great underdog story, character they have going on for him. Daniel Bryan has to win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. I told you guys before when he lost that match with Randy Orton at Hell in a Cell and Randy Orton became champion. I made a video myself. I said I was emotionally invested out of Daniel Bryan going for the title. I still love Daniel Bryan. I still am a big supporter of him. But in concerns of him chasing the WWE Championship, I didn't have it in me anymore, and I just didn't care anymore. When Daniel Bryan did what he did with the whole Triple H thing 2 weeks ago on Raw, saying if I beat you, insert me in the title match, I'm like, okay, I'm now back on the wagon of Daniel Bryan being the champion. I'm back on the wagon now. They've got me emotionally invested in Bryan going for the title again. And now that you have Triple H doing what he did last Monday, saying if he beats Bryan, then he'll go into the title match at WrestleMania. I still think it's a little bit too much creatively. I think it's a little bit too much overbooking. And I think if Bryan does beat Triple H, they may book it where Triple H comes out and it's a fatal 4-way. Whatever the case may be, if they do it that way or if they do it where it's just Bryan, Batista, Orton, either way, WWE have booked it where Bryan has to win. He has to win at WrestleMania. And if you have Triple H, who is being a damn good heel that he is, I will not take that away from Triple H, and I will say he's the best heel right now in WWE. Better than Orton, better than Hollywood heel Batista, better than Bray Wyatt right now because he is a heat magnet. If they continue to do what they do with Triple H beating on Bryan and beating on Bryan, keep beating him down, but Bryan keeps getting up, with an inch of his life. And maybe even throw in Randy Orton or Batista every now and then between now and, until WrestleMania. they do something to, with Bryan and beat him up or whatever. Just put that in the back of your mind. Like, Bryan is going up against 3 juggernauts. These guys are pummeling Daniel Bryan. There's no way. And then to cap it off at WrestleMania, not only he beats Triple H, the guy that has beaten him down for over a year since SummerSlam, but he beats 2 Goliaths and Randy Orton and Batista, and becoming the world champion at WrestleMania. That is a great story. That is a WrestleMania moment, and that I would put on par with the night Chris Benoit won the world title at WrestleMania 20, and I would even put it on par the night when CM Punk won the WWE Championship here in Chicago at Money in the Bank. If they do Bryan, if they build him this way, and if they let him win at WrestleMania. I want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions about my views and thoughts on this whole thing. What are your thoughts on it going in for WrestleMania? Are you excited for Bryan? Do you hope he wins the championship? Comment, subscribe. Peace.